Ladies and gentlemen, World Challenge 2018 at Twinwoods Adventure, end of the four-way competition, Arizona Airspeed. Welcome guys, welcome in front of the World Challenge TV camera. Niklas was already here yesterday, so thanks for you guys coming out. And thanks first of all for making the big effort coming across the Atlantic and joining this, giving this some really special taste of the best competition in the world. And there's somebody who is here for the first time, right? Who is that?
Yep, this is my first time coming over to Bedford. So
Ari Perelman, the newest and latest Airspeed member, he is over there. And he is competing in Bedford for the first time. So what do you think about this tunnel? It's different, right?
Yeah, it's a very unique tunnel. It's a really neat facility. I love just kind of how solid everything is. It's just this big steel structure in the middle of Bedford that you wouldn't expect, and it's this great tunnel and great facility, and it's really fun.
And you are one of the most experienced tunnel flyers probably on the planet right now. You've been traveling around and flying in all kind of tunnels, upside down and left and right and everywhere around. So how is the air here for you?
The air is good. I really like it. It's a very powerful tunnel. It seems like, from what I'm used to, it drops off a little bit more at the walls and then really picks up. Yeah, it's really solid air. It felt good quality, no issues at all for the competition or any of that.
So it was easy for the team to perform. Thiago and Mikael, you've been here before, but not with Airspeed.
That's
right. So how, give us your experience.
Right. This is my fourth time. Yes, my last time was in 2012, and twice before that with Rhythm. So this is the first time with Airspeed, and it's good to be back. I always liked this meet. It draws a lot of teams, especially from Europe, but still all over the world. And it's huge. It's very traditional, and and I'm glad we're putting this meet back into the Airspeed competition schedule. So yes, we're coming back next year, and so on and so on, for sure.
So Paul, did you hear it? Airspeed back next year?
Yeah, for sure.
Mikael, what is your history with
this is my meet number 4 here as well. I was 12, 13, and 15 here, and just having a great time. Of course, every time, every new experience is a little bit different. Their experiences, the maturity is different. The flying is more refined. So it's a unique thing each time.
So Thiago and Niklas, you were actually here together the last time in 2012.
That's right.
Just with different teams.
Yeah, that's correct. I was here on Airspeed, and he was here with Rhythm.
That's right.
Yeah.
And now Rhythm is not here this year. When you stopped coming, then Rhythm came here, and now you're back here, and Rhythm isn't coming anymore.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we are glad that you're here, first of all. And let's talk about all the good stuff, which is Airspeed is finishing once again with a new record average, team record average.
Yeah.
You've improved your performance level meet by meet this year, indoor, outdoor. I guess you are happy, Niklas.
Yeah, I think we're happy. I mean, there are definitely some rounds there in the middle where we kind of fell off a little bit from our game plan. But other than that, we started strong, we finished strong. And what I'm talking about is not necessarily the scores. It's just the feeling, skydives. I mean, it's we talk about that a lot in the team. Like we want to go to a certain place, but we're not there yet, and we're a work in progress. And coming all the way over here competing this year, we're trying to do 8 competitions throughout the season, and this is one of them. And coming here, training the week prior, exposing the team to new competitions, new teams, new environments. It's all part of our training, So as far as the average is higher, and we're happy. We're trending upwards. But I mean, we wanted to be more competitive with Hayabusa, and then the Wimby mixed team just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But hey, you got to respect them for that, and a great competition, because I think Wimby pushed Hayabusa maybe also to a new level. So yeah, that's good.
And then on the other hand, is that Hayabusa monster. So, you're getting better and better. I asked the questions a few times earlier. I don't know how I would deal with it. Now you're working so hard, you're getting better all the time, you're improving your own performance, and you're just not getting anywhere compared to your main opponent, because they keep performing on the top level or getting also better. How do you deal with that psychologically?
I think
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Is it saying no, we're gonna get them?
I think it's like forging steel. You have to keep going. You have to get in there. You have to get burnt. You have to keep moving. There's no shortcut. We have to do that. You got to get beaten down, and you got to stand up again. So it's as cliche as it could be, but that's reality.
Yeah, I don't think it's frustrating at all. I mean, it's like you got to respect, number one, how good Hayabusa are, and then you have to respect the work that they put in, which means you have to put more work in if you want to be better. Because if you're going to be better than Hayabusa, you have to be the best you've ever seen. So, I mean, what's the frustration in that process? There is none.
No, that's true.
I mean, that's just what it is. And you can have all the talent and the work, but if you're not willing to put in the man hours, you're not going to make it.
Yeah, if you want to be the best of the best, you have to beat all the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
But it's still, I mean, it's a lot of work, right? So.
I mean, if I just speak for myself, but I'm in this discipline and this sport because I love it, and the process of being on a team and competing and training and traveling and pushing ourselves on an individual and a team level to heights we've never been. I mean, that's a way of life. I mean, you fine-tune everything in your life for the sake of performance. And this lineup is very new. We've been together a year and 4 months. So, I mean, we're very happy where we're at. And the trajectory that we have been on ever since we got together, we just keep plugging away. I think maybe if you compare Hayabusa and us, maybe we're on a dip as far as the spread. But as far as us and our long-term plan, I mean, I just think we're growing. We're trending for sure.
And it is very true. I mean, this lineup is, Hayabusa is in the fifth team year now, or what is, better?
Yeah, different lineups. I mean,
I mean, with this lineup, they're in their fifth.
I mean, right now with Dennis, they're 8 years.
16, 17. Yeah,
with
Dennis.
Bob, it's their 4th year.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're in your second year, or at the end of your second year.
16 months.
Yeah.
So that must be encouraging, of course, because you're still at the beginning, while they are a very seasoned team already. And how is your relationship with them? I mean, you're obviously opponents, but the relationships and the dynamics between the teams are, between competitive and hostile and friendly, and there are all kind of dynamics. And if you are looking at it from the outside, you see the differences to a certain extent. You don't know everything. So it seems like you have a quite friendly relationship actually with Hayabusa. How does it feel with them?
Yeah, we all chat with each other and talk about things, wish each other good luck, high five each other. I think we all get along well. So we're definitely competitors. We're in it. We want to win. We want to beat them, but we're also friendly. It's not like we wish them ill will. We want to just be better.
Do you exchange experiences and technical stuff and strategies and all that kind of stuff, or is that just really internalized?
I don't think we share anything with them. I mean, it's we're friends, because I mean, there's no one closer to us than our competition, and that includes Rhythm or Hayabusa or anyone else. Because I mean, they are doing what we're doing. They're just competing together. So you have more in common with them than anyone else. So I mean, from being a sportsman from that regard, and an athlete, and waking up early, working hard, pursuing the world championship, I think we're all brothers, and sisters in that regard. But as far as trade secrets, proprietary information, I don't think so. We're not that good friends.
Well, it would be strange because that's the same in every sport, I guess, right? That's why you hire the coaches and you have all that stuff, so you have something special there. So if you're watching them at a meet, live at the meet, what do you see? What is special about them? What is their style, or what do you see on the videos? What do you see on the ground level when the way they are performing their act?
I see a lot of time together.
A lot of time together.
Yeah, that's what I see, a well-established team, which I would see in any other sport.
Including
These guys have been together for a long time, and man, it's just like it
Family.
flows, So that's all I see, a lot of time together.
including the fathers. and
Absolutely, yeah. That's great support, I believe, yeah.
Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting observation because there are not many teams actually. You're right. I haven't really pointed that out or seen that way.
I think it's a big part of their current success. It's the amount of time they're together.
What else? Technically, if you look at the videos and you're watching their videos, I guess, on a regular basis. Is there anything where you still see that they have an advantage? I mean, a significant advantage, or are you following everywhere basically on the same level or on a similar?
I think we talk about it all the time as a team. Looking at them, they're a little bit smaller when they fly, and so that size, obviously, in 35 seconds when you have to fly that, it's just smaller, it's quicker. But they're also a little bit more confident in between each point, and that just comes, like Thiago said, through time. Some of it is specific training. But you compare us to them, I think they're smaller and a little bit faster. And it's not so much in between each transition, but if you add all those transitions up over, let's say you average at 34 at this competition. So if you add up the transition every time, 340 of those, that's the difference.
Yeah, that's a lot, yeah.
Yeah,
each tenth of a second basically counts, yeah. Right?
Yeah, and then you add that up. That's a whole extra round. It's like you're getting an 11th round for free.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
yeah. Yeah, no, that's pretty. It's amazing, in fact, that the tenths of a second they're counting now. What about coaching? I mean, they've been working now with Gary for several years.
2012, yeah.
2012.
Yeah. And before then, they had Joey for a couple of years.
Right. So they are never without supervision, if you can say so. And you're almost the exact opposite example for that. Except recently you have worked with Solly, right, a little bit. Do you see a difference? Obviously so far so good, because you're progressing, but there's a significant difference. They have a coach, you don't have a coach.
Yeah, we think it's. Airspeed, we've been talking about it for, I would say, a couple of years before actually calling Solly. And I think the sport evolved to a point where it's healthy to have a set of outside eyes. And Hayabusa has Gary, right? And I'm sure, it's on the very long list of reasons why they're successful. Gary is pretty much on the top of that list. If not the top, but very up there.
Yeah, difficult to get him.
Yeah. And so we finally made the move and talked about it amongst ourselves and contacted Solly. And Solly, well, of course, he's one of the best coaches on the planet, along with Gary. They developed what I call, they don't know this, but I call the Gary and Solly school of four-way. I think they have the material to write books on the subject. And so we are opening our spectrum of tools to have a set of outside eyes, very technical eyes. Solly and Gary, students of the sport. They know a lot. They've seen pretty much all of it. And it's being very helpful and very healthy for us. Yeah. Taking a lot of responsibility and weight off our shoulders and giving us a whole new perspective on, great. How come we didn't see this before? Well, because we're laying down. Well, and they're standing up and looking at, why don't you try this and that? So, yeah. We're gonna work with him again pretty soon, and I'm a big fan. I'm sold on the idea, and if it's up to me, we're gonna have him along the way.
What do you just briefly? I guess we have to finish up here pretty soon. But what did you think about this rejudging situation in round 5? I think it was for the fast sequence, where the judges went back and looked at the performance of Wemby Mix again, because they said we didn't bust. Did you think it was proper, a good thing, not so good thing to do in general?
I think I'll pass on this one. It's the first time I'm hearing this.
Oh,
yeah.
Just based on the
Okay.
no idea.
I haven't heard about it, but let's have an opinion.
okay.
That's how much you slack. It's the first time I'm hearing this.
Well, in a nutshell, the IPC FAI rules, they say you cannot protest a judgment call.
Oh yeah.
No matter what. And the World Challenge rules, they say we want accurate scores, so whatever it takes. If the judges didn't see something, the team can go and say, okay, judge that again for us, or look at it again. It costs you a little bit money, but look at it again. And then the judges can look at it in full speed and frame by frame, in slow motion, whatever they want to do, to find out the truth. So those are the two things. One, not at all. The other one, everything it takes to get an accurate score. And it happened in round 5, for the world record sequence.
So what happened? They got more or less points.
They came out of it with the same 2 penalties. So they had 2-point deductions, and they said, no, that we did it correctly. The judges looked at it again and came back with the same decision.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I personally, like with these guys, I'll leave that up to them, and let's just skydive. And then don't give the judges any reason to look at it again, which I'm sure we will. But as long as you're in a competition and the same rules apply to everyone, then I'm happy with that. If you have different rules for different teams within the same competition, then I would see a bigger issue with it. So
that's an additional distraction. Okay, well,
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Anything
more. So,
okay.
For many people know of Sky League, but very few people know how hard you work. And Arizona Airspeed recognize how hard you work and how very old you are. So, we want to give you this shirt as a thank you for all your efforts and everything you do for the sport. Okay, it's exactly the same shirt that we're wearing, except for it's dirty.
No, it's not.
It's
not.
Tiago's. So.
Oh my! Thank you so
here you
much,
go.
Tiago.
It smells pretty, I promise.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We are all brothers, and we are all Airspeeds, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt.
Thanks,
you,
guys. Good luck. Good luck with everything, and thanks for coming. And we heard it. Arizona Airspeed is back next year at the World Challenge 2019. Goodbye.